In the last class, we have discussed about the duties of the agent towards the principal, and under the consequence, we have discussed that if the principal or the owner is not capable to take the responsibility, then it is the duty of the agent to take care of the principal and to take care of the properties of the principal, that we have discussed in the last class. Okay. So, under section 211, we have discussed about the duty to follow the instructions. Okay, and it indicates that the agent must follow the directions or the local customs. Any deviation requires compensation for the loss caused. Okay, when there is the principal and the agent, then it is the duty of the agent to follow the directions or the local customs or the instruction of the principal. That means whatever the principal is instructing to the agent must follow all the things being instructed to him. एजेंट को जो जो चीज़ें इंस्ट्रक्ट किया जा रहा है उस चीज़ को अच्छी तरह से किसको फॉलो करना है, एजेंट को फॉलो करना है. दिस इज द ड्यूटी एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द एजेंट दैट द एजेंट मस्ट नीड टू फॉलो. ओके. Then comes section 212. It exactly speaks about the skill and diligence. Under that, we have discussed that the agent must act with the skill and diligence as expected in the profession. That, for example, I have hired you as the salesman of my company. So, as per your profession, it is your duty and responsibility to take care of the sales, to take care of the property, how the property is being sold, how the consequences is being done. Okay, so you have to take care of all my deals, all my sales, all my properties, right? So, you must have the skill and the diligence to conduct the profession you are in, the profession where you are working as the salesman. You must have the basic responsibility, you must have the basic duty to manage your things in a very good manner. If you have been appointed as the salesman, it is your duty to showcase your skill to handle the task of the selling the property or selling of the goods. Okay. For example, you have been appointed as the manager of the company. So, as the manager, it is your duty to do the management of the company affairs, to manage the things, to manage the to handle the duties, right? So, when you have been appointed the manager, it is your duty and your responsibility to take care of the things, to take care of your clients, to take care of your staffs, right? So it is the most duty of the agent. It is the primary responsibility of the agent to take care of the skills and diligence. उसका जो स्किल है ना, वो जो काम को अच्छी तरह से कर सकता है या कर सकती है, उस काम को अच्छी तरह से सही तरीके से करने का जरूरत है. Got it? So this is about section 202 to 12, which speaks about that the agent must act with the skill and diligence as expected in the profession. In a profession, whatever the skill and diligence is being expected, the agent has the responsibility to follow, to take care, and to follow the instructions and to act according to the skills and diligence that is expected in the profession. And if the agent is unaware about the particular skills, then it is the duty of the agent to learn the skill as soon as possible. If I have been appointed as the operations manager, then I have to learn that how the operation stuff's being handled. If I know this, if I have the skill, then I have to utilize my skill in a proper manner. And if I am unable to handle this due to my lack of skill, then it is my responsibility to take care of the things and to learn the things as soon as possible. Got it? Then comes section 213. It speaks about to the duty to provide the accounts. What does it mean? The agent must provide accurate accounts when requested. There is a agent which has been appointed by the principal. Okay, so the agent when takes care of the accounts of the company, कंपनी का कितना हिसाब किताब हो रहा है, कितना पैसा आ रहा है, कितना पैसा जा रहा है, मान लो तो एजेंट इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ द थिंग्स. So isn't it the duty of the agent to handle the account stops and to give the accurate accounts to the principal when it is requested? जब भी प्रिंसिपल को अकाउंट्स का डिटेल्स चाहिए, प्रिंसिपल को ये चीज का जानना है कि मेरा इस महीने में कितना मुनाफा हुआ, कितना अर्निंग हुआ था, कितना खर्चा हुआ, कितना मुनाफा हुआ, इस जो सारे चीज का हिसाब जो है ना वो किसके पास है, एजेंट के पास है. सो इट इज द ड्यूटी and it is the responsibility of the agent to take care the accounts of the principal's property, to take care of the accounts of the principal's business, and the agent must be conscious enough to handle the accounts carefully. Not only the agent should take care of the accounts carefully, but also the agent must inform the principal, must give the accurate details of the account to the principal itself. Okay. Section 214. It speaks about the duty to communicate. What does it mean? Agents must diligently seek instructions in cases of the difficulty. According to section 213, we have discussed that whenever there is the need of the principal, it is the duty of the agent to take care of the accounts, and it is the duty of the agent to inform the principal about the whole system of the account. It is the duty of the principal to inform the agent, to teach the agent how the accounts can be handled, and it is also the reciprocal duty of the agent to provide the accurate details of the account when it is needed. जब भी प्रिंसिपल को एजेंट से अकाउंट का सारा डिटेल्स चाहिए होगा, वो डिटेल्स एजेंट को प्रिंसिपल को प्रोवाइड करना होगा विद द ड्यू टाइम. ओके. एंड सेक्शन 214, it speaks about the duty to communicate. What does it mean? It means if there is an agent who is actually working under a principal, okay, and it is the duty of the agent to communicate to the principal in details. यहाँ पे एजेंट का जो ड्यूटी है ना, वो प्रिंसिपल को कम्युनिकेट करने का है कि हाँ, दिस इज द थिंग, दिस इज हैपनिंग, दिस इज नॉट हैपनिंग, हियर इज द प्रॉब्लम आई एम फेसिंग. स्पेसिफिकली when the agent is facing the difficulty, when the agent is facing any kind of the problem, it is the first and priormost duty of the agent to instruct the principal about the difficulty, to inform the principal about the difficulty, to let know the principal about the difficulty. Got it? Section 215, it speaks about the self-dealing without consent. What does it mean? An agent cannot deal on their own account without informing the principal. The principal may repudiate if facts are concealed or disadvantage arises. What does it mean? It means an agent cannot deal on their own account without informing the principal. For example, I have appointed you as my agent. So you have to take care of my transaction of the business, in which all the money that is being received in my personal account only. You are the only working as my representative, and all the money has been directly transacted to my account. Okay. So instead of transferring the money to my account, what you did? You transferred the money to your personal account. Is it valid? No, this is not valid. According to section 215, self-dealing without consent is invalid in nature. अगर कोई भी किसी भी तरह का डील में, किसी भी तरह का एग्रीमेंट पे द person who is the representative, the agent, takes the position of the principal, takes over the principal, and instead of providing the account of the principal, he provides his new account thereon, then in that circumstances, it is the in that circumstances, it is the duty of the principal to repudiate if facts are concealed or disadvantage arises. Okay. So when there is the self-dealing act by the agent without informing the principal has the responsibility to deny that specific fact or accept that specific agreement, or the principal has the responsibility to compensate the agent, or the principal has the responsibility or the liability to be compensated by the agent for his loss or damage. For example, you have been gone to Delhi with a course of transaction where I have sent you to do that specific transaction. You reached at Delhi, but you did nothing. Okay, you have gone there to do my transaction, but you did nothing. Then you came back. But in between, there was certain kind of the collection of the money that you were supposed to do. Okay, so when you did that, did did closed, the money received from that deed, you took it by yourself. Instead of transferring me, who is the principal, you took all the money by yourself. So tell me, is it an authenticate thing? Is it a valid thing? The answer is no. This is an unauthorized activity. Okay. So where there is the self dealing without the consent, in that specific circumstances, what happens? In that circumstances, the principal has the duty or has the capability to renounce the nature of the contract, and the principal is liable to take all the benefits that has been arisen without his or her absence. Got it? Then comes section 215. It speaks about the duty of the duty self-dealing without consent. Then comes section 216. It speaks about the principal's rights to benefits. Okay. Then how does it mean? Any benefits and from the unauthorized self-dealing belongs to the principal. I was telling a few moments back that, for example, I have taken the amount of 5,000 rupees from you, that is in the unauthorized way. So, in that specific circumstances, all the money you have earned from my property, even if the procedure is unauthorized in nature, then I am, as the co-owner, has the responsibility to take that property. Got it? So, we are discussing about section 215, and under that we have discussed that an agent cannot deal on their own account without informing the principal, unless and until there is the specific permission from the principal. Till then, the agent cannot terminate the agency, and till then, the agent has no rights to take the benefit of that from that specific property. Okay. An agent cannot deal on their own account without informing the principal. The principal may repudiate if the facts are concealed or disadvantage arises. Okay. Then comes section 217. It speaks about the right of the retainer. Okay. So, whenever we are talking about the right of the retainer of the agent, it exactly speaks that agents can retain the amounts of the advances, expenses, remuneration from sums received on behalf of the principal. That means, uh, I have appointed you as my agent. You are working for me. You are working as my agent. Then what happens? You are doing the course of business on behalf of me. Someone is giving you the amount or the advance of 10,000 rupees. Will you accept or will you just deny it? No, this is my sir's property, this is my ma'am's property. I'm not going to take this money. No, you have the right to receive or to retain the specific advances, the expenses, or the remuneration or the sums that is being received on behalf of the principal. Got it? Then comes your section 216. It speaks about the principal's right to benefit. What does it mean? Any benefits and from unauthorized self dealing belong to the principal. If you are using any of the property of the principal, and most importantly you are doing any kind of the unauthorized activity without informing the principal, and you are earning certain amount from the same, then you have the liability or responsibility, or you have the right to take the money. Okay, just take an example of this. For example, I have appointed you as my agent. Okay, any benefits and from unauthorized self dealing belongs to the principal. An agent buying a house for themselves against others must transfer to the principal. Okay, so what does it mean? It means, for example, I have appointed you as my secretary. Okay, so you are working for me, you are taking care of my accounts, you are taking care of my business. So you are doing all these things, okay? And you are also handling my all the other stuffs and everything, okay? So just take an example that you have done a kind of the work that is the unauthorized self dealing, and that belongs to the principal. What do you mean by the unauthorized? What do you mean by the unauthorized self dealing? That means, for example, I have appointed you to sell 3 kg of the 3 kg of the rice, or I have appointed to sell the 3 kg of the apple. But instead of buying this 3 kg, you are taking the heavier amount than that. Okay, this is called the right to benefits. So what does it mean? It means any benefits and from the unauthorized सेल्फ डीलिंग, अगर बिना ऑथराइजेशन का सेल्फ डीलिंग से कुछ भी हो रहा है, कुछ भी आ रहा है, if there is any buy of a house for themselves, and under section 216, this must be transferred to the principal. ये चीज प्रिंसिपल को ट्रांसफर हो जाना चाहिए. Got it? Then comes section 219. What does it mean? It comes the right of retainer. Retainer means क्या हुआ? Again, when we are talking about the right of the retainer, it means the agent can certain amounts of advances, expenses, remuneration from the sums received on the behalf of the principal. Okay. So this is the right of the written we have discussed. Then comes your section 218, which speaks about the, sorry, this was about section 211, then 205, then 204, then 203. Okay, revocation by the principal. We have revocation before the exercise that we have discussed. Okay, so when I'm talking about section 203, okay, what does it mean? It means the revocation before the exercise is not allowed. Okay, so you for advances made on goods cannot be revoked arbitrarily. Okay, then whenever we are talking about section 203, it speaks about the revocation before the existence. So when there is the revocation procedure started, the we know that the principal can revoke the agent's authority before it is exercised. Okay, the principal can terminate, can revoke the authority of the person who is doing the revocation. Okay, then comes section 204. Okay, section 204, what does it mean? It means authority cannot be revoked regarding acts. Authority cannot be revoked regarding already cast executed under the agency. What does it mean? It means the authority cannot be revoked regarding acts or excused under the agency. Section 40, Section 204, it speaks about the revocation after the partial exercise of the property. Okay, that means authority cannot be revoked regarding the acts. Okay, then comes section 204. When where we are talking about the revocation after the partial exercise of the act. Okay, so authority cannot be revoked if the acts regarding it already coexisted under the agency. Okay, so when we are talking about the partial exercise of the revocation capacity of the agent, then we have understood that the authority cannot be revoked regarding the acts already executed under the agency. Okay, that means common the cotton purchased in the birth agent's name and it binds the principal. Okay, so section 204 it speaks that the authority cannot be revoked regarding acts already executed under the agency. If there is any kind of the act that has already been executed under the agency, then the authority cannot be revoked. That means we have also understood, we have also discussed about that. Can the authority of the agent be denied? The answer is yes. The authority of the agent can be denied. Okay. So, but authority cannot be revoked when the act already executed under the agency. For example, the agency has taken care of a specific task or specific work, and the agency started working on it. The agency or the agent is already started working on it. Then you are coming all of a sudden and you are telling that no, stop this work over here, and I don't want to keep you as my agent. Okay, so in that specific circumstances, okay, in that specific circumstances, what will happen? Okay, in that specific circumstances, what will happen? That the principal is unable to deny the agency. यहाँ पे प्रिंसिपल एजेंसी को आगे जाके डिनाई नहीं कर सकता. Got it? Then comes section 204. It speaks about the revocation after the partial exercise. What does it mean? Authority cannot be revoked regarding acts already executed under the agency. If there is any kind of the activity which is already executed or already done under this agency, then the revocation after the partial exercise is not necessary at all. Okay, then it comes your illustrations. What does it mean? It means cotton purchased in the agent's the cotton purchased in the agent's name binds the principal. Okay, for example, you are binding 100 tons of the cottons for me. Okay, So whenever you are buying the amount, a big amount of the cotton for me, then in this buying of the thing, okay, I would be party to it as the owner or as the principal. जितना हक एजेंट का नहीं होगा उतना हक मेरा होगा. एजेंट इज द मीडियम but agent is not the owner, remember it. So the authority cannot be revoked regarding the act already executed under this agency. If there is any kind of the specific act which has already been executed under this agency, then that activity is the revocation after the partial party and it cannot be revoked at all. Okay. Then comes section 206. What does it mean? Section 206 means notice of the revocation, and section 205 speaks about the compensation for the early revocation. What does it mean? If a time period is agreed, premature revocation without cause requires compensation. So what does it mean? For example, there is a mutual agreement between you and any other person that you are going to perform a specific act for that specific person. Okay. So when you have promised someone something, you have given your commitment, you have given your commitment for that. Okay. So when you are revoking the contract again at a later stage, it might be from the behalf of the principal or it might be from behalf of the agent. We cannot just estimate it. Okay. So whenever we are talking about the compensation for the early revocation, then we need to understand that if a time period is agreed, premature revocation without cause of without the cause requires compensation. That means that the time period that has been agreed, that has been decided, what will happen, that the premature revocation without case requires compensation. The premature cause requires what? Requires compensation. So, if there is the revocation or if there is the termination of the agency before the specific time period comes, okay, in that specific circumstances, the authority to be paid can be revoked only if it is not exercised and the cotton purchased in agent's name. The cotton purchased in the agent's name. Okay. Then comes section 205. It exactly speaks about the compensation for the early revocation. What does it mean? If okay, so let me explain it from the beginning. What does the point was? Yeah, the point was section 206. It was about the compensation for the early revocation. Okay, what does it mean? If a time period is agreed, premature revocation without cause requires compensation. If there is the time of the period which is agreed, premature revocation is there without cause or without any kind of the other activities. There. Then, in that circumstances, the party who is denying or who is revoking before the happening of the due time must need to compensate to the another party. For example, take an example of this, that I have appointed you as my agent to do a specific activity. Okay. But there was a agreement between you and me that you are going to work for the duration of 1 year for me. एक साल के लिए आप मेरे पास काम करोगे. But before the completion of that specific period, what happens, that but before the completion of that tenure time period, I am denying your agency. Okay, for example, I am working as your agent and there is the agreement that I will work for you for the duration of 2 years, but after the 1 year I am quitting my job before the prior notice. So here there is the loss or the damage that is being occurred to the principal by the agent or by the agent to the principal due to the revocation or due to the denial before the time period. Okay, in that specific circumstances, the compensation must be paid. If a time period is agreed, the premature revocation without cause requires compensation. That means if any kind of the revocation is premature in nature, उसका वक्त नहीं आया है, वो मैच्योर नहीं हुआ है, उसी का टाइम नहीं आया है, then in that circumstances it requires the compensation. Then comes the notice of the revocation. What does it mean? When we are talking about the notice of the revocation, it means before the revocation the proper duration of the notice must be given. Okay, so this is the so this is the responsibility or the duty of the principal and the agent we discussed. And we have discussed about the due to the paid the sums received. Then we discussed the remuneration, that we have discussed that agents are entitled to payment only upon completing task unless agreed otherwise. And we have also discussed the agent is liable to get the notice before the specific time period. Okay, okay, so we have discussed, let's come to the point back, that we are discussing about the basic duty of the agent towards the principal. Okay, under that circumstances, we have discussed the basic criteria. We have discussed that the agent must act with the skill, and we have discussed that the agent has the duty to pay back the specific amount of the money, or the specific to give the particular calculation of the accounts to the principal, so that the principal can be aware about the proper calculation, that how much account is being held, what is the proper benefit of the company, and all these things. Okay, okay, so then comes your section 216. Okay, okay, we have discussed first the self dealing without consent, section 215. Under that, we discussed the agent cannot deal on their own account without informing the principal, that we discussed. Then comes section 216. It directly indicates that the principal's right to benefits, that the all the benefits and from the unauthorized self dealing belong to the principal. That means if there is any kind of the act for which the agent has gained any kind of the benefit, then in that specific circumstances the self dealing activities, or the earnings from the self dealing belongs to the principal. For example, I have not authorized you to do a specific activity and you are working as my agent. Okay, so without informing me you have sold some of my products. Okay, so for example you have received the benefit of 30,000 rupees from selling of that product, then who will be responsible to get all the benefits? This will belong to me, because I am the owner over here. This is your responsibility, it is your duty to pay me for that specific benefits. Okay, so okay, so I was talking about section 216. It was about the principal's right to benefit, and any kind of the benefit that is earned from the unauthorized self dealing, it belongs to the principal. That if the agent has earned from any kind of the unauthorized activity, all the benefits belongs to the principal, and the principal is liable, is responsible to gain all the benefits retained from that. Okay, then comes section 217. It speaks about the right of the retainer. Okay, what does it mean? Agents can retain the amounts of the advances, expenses, or remuneration from sums received on behalf of the principal. That means, for example, you are my agent and you are doing the dealings for my company on my behalf. Then what about the amount of the advances is there, whatever expenses are there, whatever remunerations are there, who will receive the amount? Obviously you, because you are the one who is working on behalf of me for my company. Then obviously it is your responsibility to take care of the money, and it is your responsibility to receive such sums, such amounts. Okay. Then comes section 218. It speaks about the duty to pay the sums received. What does it mean? Agents must transfer all sums received on behalf of the principal after deducting the permissible amounts. For example, there is the deal between me and my agent that, for example, in this business, we are going to get the profit of 30,000 rupees. You are going to take the amount of 10,000 and rest 20,000 you have to pay me back. So when the transaction is being completed, the agent receives the whole sum amount of 30,000 of the rupees, then it is the duty of the agent to pass on the benefit amount of 20,000 to the principal. Got it? So the agent, whatever the sum, whatever the amount he is receiving, it is on behalf of the principal, with the course of business of the principal. प्रिंसिपल के बिजनेस के वजह से प्रिंसिपल के लिए काम करके उसको जितना बेनिफिट मिल रहा है, उसका ड्यूटी क्या है? उसका अपना हिस्सा जितना है वो हिस्सा कंप्लीटली एक्सेप्ट करने के बाद बाकी का हिस्सा वो किसको ट्रांसफर करेगा? प्रिंसिपल को ट्रांसफर करेगा. गॉट इट? देन कम्स सेक्शन 219. It speaks about the remuneration. Agents are entitled to payment only upon completing task unless agreed otherwise. For example, I have appoint you as my agent, and we have entered into the agreement that I will pay you monthly basis. I'll pay you 50,000 per month for your task. But in return, you have to work for me, you have to do all the dealings for me, you have to receive the money that is being received on behalf of me. You are doing crores of the transaction on behalf of me in every month. But yes, you do not have a right to take a single penny from that transaction, because that is mine, and I have appointed you, I have hired you to do that specific activity. So what you are responsible for? You are responsible for to do all the deals, all the transactions in a proper manner, and I will pay you your fixed amount of 50,000 rupees per month, your specific remuneration or specific salary. So if the agent is doing his duty in a proper manner, then it is the responsibility of the agent, or it is the liability of the agent to get his remuneration amount without any hesitation. Got it? Then comes section 220. It speaks about the misconduct forfeits remuneration. Misconduct during agency business forfeits the entitled of the remuneration. For example, there is the deal between you and me that you are going to work for me and I'll pay you 30,000 per month. But unfortunately, you are doing misconduct in the activity. You are doing a theft. You are stealing money from the company business. So here, as you are doing the misconduct, as you are doing the fraud, misrepresentation, mistake, any kind of the no full activity, which you know that it is a crime, but still you are doing that. You are doing forgery, you are doing fraud to me. In that circumstances, you are not entitled to get your remuneration, because you are doing a crime, you are doing a mistake over here. And if as a punishment, I am reducing your remuneration amount, for example, you are supposed to get 50,000 of the rupees per month as the remuneration, but I am paying you 30,000, then you have to accept it because of your misconduct. So according to section 220, misconduct during agency business forfeits the entitlement to remuneration. If there is the misconduct by the agent towards the principal, then the agent can be forfeited by the principal. The principal may deny the agent to provide the expected amount of the remuneration. Got it? So this is explained under section 220. Then comes your part agent's line and principal's duties, that is on section 221 onwards, that we are going to discuss in the next class. This is all for today. See you guys. Bye bye. Take care.